Back to Transition Radio, brought to you by Sherry Blair, your financial consultant. We are having a fabulous show today, and in this segment we are talking still to Megan Fenyo, a health and mindset coach and an entrepreneur that has a lot of great info to share with all of you out there who are entertaining the idea of developing an entrepreneurial business. So you were just talking about the 5 steps that you take clients through, and the first one was clarity. That was second, mindset, having the right mindset. Then being really clear about what your purpose is and what you want. Then grounding. Where are we in number 4?
Number 4 is creating your strength plan. And so what that means is once we have all of this great stuff that we want to do and we have this idea and this map and we're like, let's go, we have to create a strength plan, which a strength plan includes things like time management, things like self-care, morning routine, because we have to have this plan in order to, let all of our goals start to take place, right? So that is step 4, which is
some people's morning routine is sleeping in. So
yes.
where does this fit into sleeping in people?
So some people, get very nervous when we talk about morning routines.
Right.
And so I work with clients individually to develop the most appropriate morning routine for them. So for me, for example, I get up every morning at 5:30. I do my, 15 minutes of personal one-on-one time and devotions and things like that. And then I go to the gym and I work out and I come home and I do my day. And so when you think about it, what is the first thing that probably 90% of us do in the morning? First
Have
thing.
a cup of coffee. Or
even before that.
Stretch.
Grab our phones.
Grab our
Oh my
phones.
God,
Okay,
you're
yeah.
Some of us do that even before we're out of
Yes,
bed. And
you're
what does
right.
that do to your mindset?
Yeah.
You start getting anxious. Oh my goodness, look at all the emails I have, the text messages, this
Yes.
and that. And do you know what the first thing you should do when you get out of bed is?
What?
Make your bed.
Oh, I love that. I do that. But I meditate first.
Good.
But I love what you're saying because I have made that mistake a few times because I set my alarm on my phone. And every once in a while there's something on the desktop that's a text message or something. I've learned not to look at it until I've had my sacred time.
Yep.
And once I've done that, then I feel more ready to face my day. And I love what you're saying because just like when we were kind of joking earlier, Ken and I, that you have to have your health in order to have the hot love. But you also have to have your health in order to have the hot career, don't you?
Exactly.
So
And
the
to live,
physical piece is big.
it's huge, and a lot of people don't realize that. But we're so hustle and bustle, and life is so overwhelming. We've got to do this and we've got to do that. But who wants to live a life full of stress and anxiety? And when you really, and this is what I really work with clients in this step, is when you really take time, I have them get a planner, right? Because there's something that says when you write it out, it leaves your mind immediately, so you're not stressing over it. And I make them do their day 30 minutes at a time. Because then they look at it and they're like, oh my goodness, I have like 3 hours in my day,
That is free.
to do whatever you want to do.
Nice.
And so what I call schedule Sundays. So on Sundays I meal prep and then schedule my time for the week, my to-do list, my self-care, appointments. People that have kids, I have them put their kids' things in there. And they're like, oh my goodness, it's really not as overwhelming.
Isn't
You
it?
actually find time
Make it
doing that,
small.
don't you?
Oh my goodness, yes. And life, and I always say life doesn't go as we plan. So obviously sometimes things happen in the day where we can't follow that schedule, and that's okay. But at least you know what that day is going to look like. So you're not waking up saying, oh my gosh, I have so much to do today.
Exactly.
How am I going to get it all done? And that's something I learned very early.
One of the things I do is I do the worst first, right? Yeah, that's what I try to do because once that stuff's done, the life it goes so much easier, right?
And especially as an entrepreneur, when we're not going to an office every day, this has been the biggest struggle for me, is that I don't have that 8 to 5 where I'm at work. So I've really had to schedule my time where I'm writing a book right now. I'm super excited about
Well,
it.
let's talk about that. What's that?
So it's based on my 5-step system. I haven't decided on a title yet, but something along the lines of You Are Enough. And it's just a guideline to, you know, living your life full of purpose and passion. And so when I started writing this book, I had to block out time. So like tonight from 5 to 8, I am writing. I'm putting my phone away. I cannot touch it. I have to write. You know, the next day, you know, client appointments. And so for entrepreneurs, that is super important, is because we don't have this scheduled. Our day is done and we're like, what did we do?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've written 7 books, so
Oh my goodness.
my 7th one called the Courage to Change Everything is coming out soon, and you know, I have a tip on that. You know, what I like to do is when you sit down to write, find something that you read that's inspirational to you, and that opens up your consciousness, right?
Yes.
I have a little tip too.
Okay.
I
I
just
love
finished my 3rd book, and I find that my inner child is not crazy about sitting still and sitting at a computer. So I set a little reward for her. If we finish this chapter, then for my 1st book, it was pistachio ice cream at Baskin Robbins.
Okay.
Now I try to find something a little less caloric, but something fun that she likes, like getting out and going and visiting the neighbor's dog, or going for a run or a walk or something, because she likes to move.
Yes.
And I think, you know, we have to honor all parts of us.
Absolutely. Okay, number 5. There's one more.
Yeah,
piece
the
of
last step is just what I call the maintenance stage. So when I work with clients, it's like the 5 stages of change, which is what this is based on. And so the maintenance stage is when you have this plan and you're going after your goals and things seem to be going well. Sometimes you find those mindset blocks creeping back in, right? Because they're always going to be there. You know, we're not going to get rid of them, but what we can do is learn how to control them. And so this is just more of the maintenance phase, so that you're always using your tools, that you're reminding yourself that you're using your tools to keep you on going forward.
Well, you know what that phase you just talked about? I mean, I know that I'm not my thoughts. I have thoughts, okay? They're there, they pass through, like you just said. You know, you're going to have these thoughts, but you know, you're more than your thoughts, right? You're a soul, you're a presence, you're a power, right?
Right.
So you have to connect to that. Is that right? Is that what you're saying here?
Yes, definitely. And so making sure, like, what is that thought? And reality testing, which is what I help my clients do as well. Like, is this thought real, right? Or is it, you know, from your soul? Is it something that you have to pay attention to, right? And so yes, that's all part of this work, which makes me so excited.
And what about accountability? In that maintenance phase, isn't that probably a pretty important thing?
Accountability is huge from the stage 1 all the way through stage 5 and throughout your life. And so that's what I love about the coaching piece, is because I get to see those clients come with some fear and just confusion, and then make that first step to really truly developing and living the life they truly desired with that accountability piece with me. And then as they get on their own, they have created these accountability people.
So they're accountable to themselves eventually.
Exactly,
right?
and to others. Like, I'm accountable to certain people for my book, and I'm accountable to certain people for my business. I have accountability people for all kinds of different things in my life, but definitely. And once you get that confidence and that courage, then yes, a lot of the accountability is from yourself.
So one other area I wanted to ask you a little more about, Megan, those subconscious limiting beliefs. I work with them a lot. I think they're huge because people aren't conscious that they're having those beliefs and that those beliefs are blocking them. What do you do with that?
That is so true, and that was part of my journey, that I really focus on, like, that nudging feeling, right? Like maybe the butterflies, or you just have this feeling like something's not right, either good or bad, and something needs to change. And that's your unconscious saying, hey, it's time to slow down and really look at what's going on, because I knew that I wanted this life unconsciously, right? I knew that I wanted this, but I didn't know how to identify what those thoughts were, what that looked like. And so our unconscious can work for us very, very well.
And against us.
Yes, and against us, yes.
Which I believe that most people can't see their own blind spots. You can tune into them and they'll come to you if you're a meditator like Paula and I. They'll come in and you'll realize it. But most people need a coach, need somebody that can look at it and question why they think the way they are, right?
I did this event last night at a wellness seminar, and I was asking these questions, just these 10 questions that I start with each client, this deep dive. And it was so amazing because one of the women that was there had this clarity moment, like, oh my goodness, just by asking one question. And that's what makes it so exciting, is because, yeah, sometimes we just need that coach or someone to really bring us to that space of clarity.
What was the question?
Oh my goodness, I don't remember.
Oh, darn.
Sorry, I don't remember, because
I was hoping I'd have a moment right
I know. And so you can go to my website, and there's the questions up there as well.
Give them the website information once again before we run out of time.
Yeah, so you can go to my website. I have some freebies up there. I have a top 10 or top 100 positive affirmations that I developed. There's also a free audio download. And you can go to my website, www.missionstrengthsd.com.
Well, I want to say this. Anybody that can shift their career, their presence, their power in 5 months like you've done,
Really?
you've got some powerful affirmations on that site. I encourage our listeners to go there and listen to those affirmations. Give me that one more time, Amy.
www.missionstrengthsd.com.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so
are
much.
a powerhouse, and
Thank
it has
you.
been our pleasure to
Thank
have
you
you
so
here
much.
today. Thank you.
Now, ready, and...